Yo, and hello, everybody. Mike here, baseball collector, and happy Thursday to you. Coming at you from a little bit different angle. I'm actually recording this on StreamYard because I'm going to share some things with you guys on my screen. Some things I've been kind of thinking about the last few weeks, honestly, maybe even months. It's kind of like as things progress, and I'm buying a few cards here and there, but I'm like, okay, during this house build, during this time where I'm just, being a little more careful with my card budget and not spending what I used to spend before. It doesn't mean I can't buy cards, and it doesn't mean I can't enjoy the hobby. And so to that end, I'm like, okay, what do I really want to do? What do I want to focus on? And the truth is that I have this ambitious, and for some of you, probably you're going to say, I would never do that. I have no desire to do that. And that's fine. But for me, it's about getting back to my core, who I am as a collector. And I'll tell you why in a second. But when I was a kid, I was opening packs and, starting in 81 through the 80s. I remember tons of 87, 88, 89 tops, 90 tops. And then end of high school, I was still collecting, but not pack ripping and things like that through the early 90s, mid 90s, etc. But I always loved having a complete set of flagship tops. And back then we didn't call it flagship tops. We just called it tops because that's all there was. And so building a set to me is at my core essence, who I am as a collector. I'm a completionist. And that to me is the perfect example in the card world of the completionist mentality, is to have a complete set of the flagship top set. So I have every set from 1973 to today. So that is a lot. What's that? 53 years worth of sets, give or take. And I have slowly and methodically over the years, as I have opportunities, bought additional sets or starter sets or commons, and just trying to get stuff with, again, this ambitious goal of having every single Topps card that has ever, base Topps card that's ever existed. I want to have an example of it in my collection. And why is a dream for me would be to have a card wall, a binder wall that encompasses every set, that has a binder for every year. And if you want to really get deep into the sick brain of Mike and how I think as a hobbyist, I want, not only would I love every regular top set, but then I'd love to also have in a binder next to it the corresponding heritage set. I know it's crazy. It's bonkers, truthfully, and talk about a lot of space and a lot of time and a lot of this and a lot of that. But that's how it's going to be. And that doesn't have to happen overnight. Again, I'm a long way towards that goal already. With 2026 will be the 75th anniversary. I'm going to be moving into the new card room in 2026. 75 years of top sets. At that point, we'll have 25 years of heritage sets. And so I think we'll have from 52. They actually started in 52. I'm actually going to do the 51 set as well. But 52 through 1977, I guess, will be next year. So having all of those sets. So that's my goal. I'd want to do that. Do I want update sets and traded sets? And yes, I do. Although my primary goal right now is to just do the base sets. And if I was to say, is heritage more important or Topps base more important? Topps base is more important. So you do, as I think as a collector, for me, it helps to compartmentalize things and kind of put a hierarchical viewpoint on what's more important. Not that I don't want them all, but it's like, okay, if I could only get X, what would I want? And for me right now, it's filling in these top sets. So what I want to show you is a spreadsheet that I've had for a very long time. To show you, I'm going to put on my glasses and I am going to make this the main screen. This is my collection spreadsheet. It's got tab after tab after tab after tab. It's massive spreadsheet, but one of the tabs on here is my Topps base set. And so you see in 1951. I wish I could get rid of this Copilot thing. Hide until, yeah, there you go. Just found it. Okay, so 1951. I have 12 cards, and those are all Hall of Famers. So any sets where I have some cards, it's because for the most part, barring, I don't know, I think I'm missing on the tops run maybe 8 or 10, maybe 10 cards uh, of just the Hall of Famers, and so that's just slabbed, and then raw cards and stuff like that. So if you go through the different years, and you might look at 1953, and there's 50, I have 36 of the 274 cards. Well, I was going through a bunch of just commons that I had. You won't be able to see this. I need to change the screen here so that um, let's make this bigger. But I found a stack of 1953 tops commons, and what this will show you is what I'm kind of looking for. There's a Dick Groat. It's far from perfect, but it is a great binder card, right? It's off center. It's got rounded corners, honest corners, as we say. Great. That's great for me. I don't mind that at all. But I found a little mini stack of like 15 cards looking through some of my stuff. And I've been doing that through all the sets and kind of filling things in. So let's go back to the spreadsheet, and I can show you what's going on there. Basically, what I'm wanting is some help. Okay. You can see that on 1970, or let's start at the end. Let's start at the end, work back. That'll be more fun. There are in this grand project 48,000 cards, 48,181 to be exact, that I want to get. Includes 2025 here because I got that set earlier, just a couple months ago. And I have 93.58% of them. I only need 3,000 cards. And with almost all of those being commons, I need the 52 tops Mantle and Jackie. There's some big cards that I need, but by and large, over 3,000 of these are going to be commons. And I want to get it as honestly, as cheaply as I can. I would be lying, say, yes, I want to, pay whatever it takes. That's not how I think about the hobby. I want to get these. I want to try to find some lots or do some other ways, and we'll get to that here towards the end. But I'm down to 3,000 cards, which is pretty crazy and exciting. In the 20, this decade, I have everything, because all these are factory sets. I have all these factory sets, and then I have box sets all the way back to 73, which is where I originally stopped my collection, and then started filling it in. I bought a 71 set. I built a 70 set. 72, I still need, looks like 63 cards. Almost all of those are high numbers. But on these, like 72, I have a list of the cards I need. 69, I need, looks like 7 cards. I do have a list of those. And 68, I need 50 something. And so you can see that year after year, I have the 1960 set complete, 62 is complete, and 65 is complete. I have no 50 sets complete yet, although I'm pretty far along on the 59 tops. I only need 14 cards there. So with all of these pretty much being commons, what I'm asking for is some help. So if you're looking, if you can see this list, and I'll make it even bigger because we're really only going to deal with this column over here. But if you have some 72 high numbers that you have and they're extra, like I don't want to take someone's collection. That's not the point. But if you have extra commons or cards that are lying around not doing anything for you from 72 high number, let me know. I'll send you a list. 67, I need a ton. 63. So I'd love to buy like a starter set, like, and kind of, I don't want them creased and just beat to crap, but decent cards, but they don't have to be perfect. These are going in a binder. And so I am perfectly content with just good old binder cards. This is a case where I just want the cards, and I don't need super high-end examples because most of these are commons anyway. And so I have all my Hall of Famers graded. I just want the card. So 67, I need a bunch, including dang near every high number, which I know is really tough. 68, I'm missing 54 cards. 64, 63. So if you have any of these, any cards from, commons from the 60s, again, other than 65, 60, and and 62, I'd love to make a deal with you. I'd love to buy them from you. And I'm absolutely willing to buy them. Then if you get into the 50s, 59, 58, 57, 56 even, I have quite a few. So it would be a question of me. I need to really sit down on a bunch of these. I already have a list. The rest of them, I really need to go through and just say, here's the 3,095 cards that I need, and have a just kind of master list broken down by year, so that if someone says, hey, I got a bunch of 63s, I can tell them to you, we can work out a deal, that kind of thing. I'd be like, great, because I need so many of them, and I don't need the expensive ones. I need the cheap ones. And so these are going into a binder to kind of create this master Topps collection, right? This ultimate Topps baseball card collection for me. So that's the spreadsheet. Again, lots of cards that I need. I figured first I'd ask you guys, and I'd rather buy them from you than some stranger on eBay or, wherever else you might buy batches of commons. And I know a lot of us have extra commons. I have a bunch. Like, I would even be willing to trade. I have a whole box of a bunch of stuff. I have tons of 64s and other stuff. So trading would be great if you said, hey, I'm building a 64 set, and I've got a bunch of great binder cards for that. I got a bunch of 68s, and I'd have to look. But if there's something that you're interested in that you'd rather trade, I'm completely open to doing that. So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of putting it out there. It'd be a fun thing to kind of work on over the next few months as the house continues to get built, and still enjoying the hobby and working on something I ultimately want to do no matter what. And this can be just something fun that I enjoy, and build in the binders. So that is it for now. Let me know if you have any cards. How can you reach out? Hold on. Whoop, totally almost forgot. In the description below, I will put my email, and you can also get my email from the description of my channel, on my About Me part of my channel. But I'll just put it in the description just to make it super easy for you. And you can email me, hey, Mike, I have these, or I have this year, or I have these few years. And then I can respond with a list, and off we go, trying to make a deal. So I appreciate you guys. And to me, this is fun. And this is kind of the core of who I am as a collector, and excited to work on it for a little bit. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day, and keep collecting.